helplessness is your best friend, savage.
Hi everyone, my name's Dawn Hawkins. I'm the Executive Director of Morality and Media.
Oh, fuck me. This time we've got a moral crusader. Well, kids, you're gonna strap yourself in. This is gonna get fun.
I direct a number of anti-pornography campaigns, and I just wanted to share with you my experience from the weekend. I'm kind of emotional about it still, so bear with me. So I was heading to Texas from DC. I was asked to speak at a conference about the links between pornography and sex trafficking.
Fuck you, there is no link.
And I boarded my flight in Baltimore at 6 a.m. on Friday, only to find that the man sitting in front of me was looking at pornography on his iPad.
Unless you had x-ray vision, I very doubt you could see it, because the chair and the person would probably get in the way of your vision of the iPad.
Of all people to be sitting in front of, he was right in front of me. I was speechless, I was stunned, I didn't know what to say.
Easy, what you do and say is this. Absolutely fucking nothing!
I could not believe he was looking at pornography right there on the airplane at 6 a.m. in the morning. So I sat back for enough time for him to flip through about 8 images. They were all of very, very young girls. I couldn't tell if they were 14 or 18.
Wow, that's really pushing it. You couldn't tell what age they were. You're an idiot.
They were definitely young, and they were all Asian. And
kinky.
a couple of the photographs were very violent in nature. One of them even had one girl whipping the other girl with a whip.
Wow, you really need to look up the word violent and image. Because that doesn't even strike me as shocking or strange.
As soon as I gathered myself, I couldn't help it. I definitely said something. Somewhat loudly, I asked him if he was really looking at pornography at that time. I said, you know, is that really pornography? Are you looking at pornography right now on this airplane?
Yeah, it is kind of strange for him to look at pornography on a plane, but as long as he wasn't masturbating, it wouldn't bug me that much.
Are those girls even 18? Is that child pornography? I was making a fairly big deal about it, and everyone seemed to be looking at us. The guy said, "You don't know what you're talking about." He was still holding the iPad right in front of him, and I said, "I do. I can see your screen right now. You're looking at porn." And I turned around. There was a flight attendant right behind me, a male flight attendant, and I said to him, "Sir, this man is looking at pornography. Will you please do something about it?"
I like the fact she stated that the flight attendant was a male. And anyway, I don't think the flight attendant can do anything other than ask him very nicely to put it away.
The flight attendant just stood there. He did nothing. He said there was nothing that he could do. He could have just asked the man to put it away and to not look at it. I was astounded. I couldn't believe that he refused to do anything, especially because it was making me and other passengers so uncomfortable, and I'm sure that it was making the other passengers uncomfortable as well.
I like the self-contradicting nature of that statement, that she started off saying it made me and everybody else uncomfortable. Then she said, I think it made everybody else uncomfortable, which is a complete contradiction, and also she's an idiot.
Anyway, the guy put it away. I was sitting there shaking. I was so upset.
I'm gonna be completely honest with everybody. If she'd ended the story right here, right now, I would not have a single problem with it. But does she? Fuck no! She has to go one step beyond, which means that I have no sympathy for her after this point.
A few minutes later, I leaned forward and in a much quieter voice directed just at the man, I said to him, "Sir, I'm heading right now to speak at a conference about pornography and sex trafficking. You're contributing to the problem. You're exploiting millions of women and children. You're creating the demand. You're the one contributing to all of this harm. And
Fuck me, I never knew that one person looking at some sexual images on a plane on an iPad was causing so much harm to so many people. You're full of shit.
and right then, a woman who was 2 rows up from us, she stood up and interrupted me, and she faced me and she said, she was probably in her 50s. She said, "Be quiet. No one cares."
Congratulations, random 50-year-old woman. If I could, I would shake your hand. Personally, my response would look something more like this.
Out of here! Calm down! Get a hold of yourself!
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
Calm down now. Get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're one on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.
I gotta get out of here. Out of here. Out of here. I gotta get out of here.
I could not believe that a woman of all people would stand up and tell me to be quiet. She didn't tell the man to stop looking at pornography. She didn't say anything about that. She just said no one cared that he was looking at pornography, what was likely child pornography, on the airplane, right in front of all of us. She said to just let it go.
A big wooden cross. So every time you feel unappreciated for all your sacrifices, you can climb on up and nail yourself to it.
Needless to say, I was speechless. For the rest of the flight, I could barely control myself. I know everyone was looking at me. I felt a million emotions, most of which were just disbelief and extreme sadness and hopelessness in the fight against pornography. I couldn't believe that a woman of all people, an older woman, wasn't on our side.
What fucking side? You're a bunch of idiots who think that every time that somebody looks at porn, there's some kind of evil maniacal cunt who only does it because they're an idiot.
Didn't see anything wrong with the exploitation and degradation of women and likely children right then and there. We know that pornography is so addictive, and that man was likely very addicted to pornography. That's why he was looking at porn right then, that early. He couldn't help it. I feel really bad for him. Part of me does, just because I understand that he must be struggling.
Maybe the guy was a bit nervous. You know, he was stuck in a big metal tube, traveling at around about 300 or 500 miles an hour, with about 300 or 500 strangers, and maybe looking at some porn helps him to relax. Have you ever thought about that?
With these urges, and I'm sure that he doesn't. He's not happy, and he doesn't want that, but
No, I think he probably just wants to be left alone for a bit, just so he can look at some porn.
It hurt even more that a woman would tell me that people don't care about this. It's a danger to children, pornography, especially if kids were going to be exposed to it on an airplane. It is no place for pornography on an airplane. I feel like even most porn users would agree that pornography is there's no place for pornography on an airplane. A wealth of research today demonstrates that pornography consumption is a leading cause for sexual violence and sexual assault. This is a safety hazard also. In a public place as tight and small as an airplane, we can't have that. I just wanted to share this experience with you all. Have you experienced pornography on an airplane? Is this a common danger to us?
Pornography isn't a problem, and to answer your question, I've looked at pornography on a plane. Heck, I've even looked at pornography on the train into work this morning.
I mean, I'm involved every day in the fight against pornography, and I did not realize that there's a danger to us on airplanes in the United States. I got off the airplane and I reported it to a police officer who promised to investigate. He went to the man's next gate, especially because the likelihood it was child pornography was pretty high.
Good God, you're a fucking idiot. You know what? I hope that guy meets up with you later on, so he can give you a stern slap across the face.
But he said that if it was adult pornography, there was nothing that he could do because the Delta and many other airlines have no policy about this kind of content on their flights. Needless to say, airlines need to have a policy. It needs to be spelled out that obscenity and pornography is not allowed on the airplanes. This is a danger to all passengers, to flight attendants. It would be a very unhealthy workplace. That would be sexual harassment.
Good God, you need to look up the definition of sexual harassment.
Anywhere else. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. If you have experienced something similar, please let us know. We're no doubt going to investigate this further and work to get anti-pornography policies in place on airplanes, try to make them a little bit safer in regards to the availability of porn and the exploitation of women. We have to stop this. You can email us at grassroots@pornharms.com. And again, I work for Morality and Media. We direct the war on illegal pornography and pornharms.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
I'd like to point out the website that they mentioned has been currently taken down at the precise moment of the recording of this video. And two, I like the fact that you've just disabled the comment box on this video. And finally, there is only one video clip where I can sum up my thoughts on this video.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.